With his passion for agriculture, Theo Slingerland has transformed a simple cornfield into a captivating adventure for families. Today, we have the opportunity to delve into his world, exploring the intricate art of designing a maze out of a cornfield, basically, and the experiences that make visitors return year after year. Welcome, Theo, to Bridge City News. Great to have you on today.
Great to be here.
Okay, well, first off, I want to say I really wanted to do this interview with you on location at the corn maze because I thought it would have looked so great visually. But then, of course, we were hit with a pre-Halloween snowstorm, so it's really nasty out there. But so, the studio will just have to do for now. But anyways, we're glad that you're here. And I just want to know, how has your current season been going for the Lethbridge corn maze? Can you share some highlights and challenges that you've experienced so far?
Yeah, so we have been increasing in numbers. So weather has been very great for us, except of course this last week with the snow.
Right, yeah.
So busy time is normally September, October, and we had some beautiful weekends. So it's been crazy busy. That's a challenge on its own because you have to have enough staff. You have everything is going and everything is tested to its limits. But people come out, they stay like way longer than they used to, and especially when it's beautiful weather,
Wow.
and they enjoy it, and they keep coming back, I guess. So that's a good thing.
There you go, time after time, year after year. Okay, so one of the most anticipated aspects of the maze is that there's a theme every year. So can you maybe tell us about some of the themes that you have chosen for your maze?
Yeah, so this year we made a train. That was my idea, to make a train like an old locomotive. And once I built the train or drew the train on the picture, I said, "Hey, I got lots of room. Let's put a high level bridge on there." So that's how the high level bridge get underneath there. And other years, yeah, it's always a challenge to come up with a new design. Sometimes we use anniversaries, like the 4-H, for example, or the Looney or the Toonie, how many years they have been around. We've done some, yeah, we've done some interesting designs. So people gave me ideas like a spider web. Uh, yeah,
That doesn't
well,
sound easy.
well, it's fun. It's fun to make. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it's a fascinating process just to design a corn maze, but maybe walk us through how you and your team come up with these designs and what factors do you consider during the planning phase?
So the first step, of course, is to figure out what you want to have as a picture, like the design, what it will show. Once you get the picture, I draw it out, and then I start making the maze from it and around it. And then you have to think about, you're not just looking from the top. You look like, pretend you're walking in there and try to figure out how people will perceive it, and then the biggest challenge is to make it not too hard so that it is frustrating, but not too easy that it is no fun.
Yeah, you don't want to get people lost in there forever, right?
That's right. That's right.
Has anyone ever been lost in there and couldn't find their way out? Somebody had to help them?
Yeah, most people get lost, but we usually
Most
have
people
somebody
get
on.
lost. Okay.
Yeah, most people get lost. It's the whole idea.
Yeah, that's the idea of a maze. So I'm just wondering, so when you're designing these patterns, it would require careful planning and precision. So do you use certain techniques or technologies to ensure that the maze is accurately cut and aligns with the chosen theme? Do you use is there like a three-dimensional computer program or something behind all of this?
I always say I'm old school. When
Okay.
I started, yeah, when I started, there wasn't too much computer programs out there, but there's lots of them now. But I never do. I always draw it on paper, what I learned in kindergarten, and I know how to count and that kind of stuff. And I've done it ever since. No GPS involved yet. Maybe the next generation. So, I mean, they made them thousands of years ago, and they had no GPS then either. So
Yeah, you really are old school. So you literally are just planning it from your head and a piece of paper.
that's correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and by this time you kind of know, I'm sure like you've been doing it for a while, so you kind of know what it looks like in there, and it's incredible to me how you do this.
Yeah, there's a few tricks to the trade. I mean, I've been doing it for 24 years, so I learned a
Yeah.
few things in years. And it takes me now about anywhere from 2 to 3 days to cut them out.
Okay, well, I would have thought it would take much longer. Does the corn? How tall is the corn? I mean, it's above our heads, obviously.
Yeah, normally it's around to 10 feet. So every year it's a little bit different. At the moment, because of the snow and the frost, is down to 8 feet, I think. But the average is about 10 feet, and we've had 12 feet corn, and we've had 8 feet corn. Just depends on the growing conditions.
Yeah, definitely. Do the growing conditions have to be like, do certain conditions have to exist for you to do this, or you just do it every
Well,
year?
corn likes heat, so this year was a really good corn year. So corn was good and good size, everything. Sometimes we get a lot of cold weather during the time when the corn is growing, and then it stays shorter. In other years, yeah, you get record corn. So it's every year it's a little bit different, but we are a little bit on the edge of where we can grow corn, that kind of corn. But it works every year so far.
Fantastic. Okay, so now your corn maze is, as we mentioned, a popular destination for families and for groups. So, what special activities or events have you organized alongside the maze to enhance that visitor experience each year?
Yeah, so we started just a corn maze, and I think we had two pigs and a calf, and people love the animals, so we expanded in our petting zoo. So we have a quite good sized petting zoo now, and people can enjoy those. And then we started building things like a little train that we pulled around. We got some short zip lines. We got a thing called rat rollers, those big pipes where people can walk in and roll on some rails. We got some permanent mazes as well that we planted with bushes. So that's a 1 acre maze that's always the same. And that's been around for 15 years now, I think. And this year we put in a jumping pillow, for example, so people can, like a trampoline type idea. So we always try to add something new every year. And one of the big things that we have been adding over the last 10, 15 years is the pumpkins and the pumpkin patch and our displays and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Have you incorporated any challenges or extra puzzles within the maze?
Yeah, we always have a trivia maze. So there will
Oh,
be questions. And if you answer the questions right, we'll send you the right way. And if not, send you the wrong way. So that's one maze.
oh,
That's the
I
trivia
love
maze.
that.
And then we have the big maze, and we've had done scavenger hunts in there before, but we run into some issues. So this year we didn't, but we are looking for other games that we can do in there.
Oh, definitely. It sounds like so much fun. Now, obviously, over the years, farm to table experiences have gained a lot of popularity. So, does the Lethbridge Corn Maze offer any agricultural education programs or demonstrations to educate visitors about corn farming and agriculture in general?
When schools and students come out, and we do talk about it if they want to, it's up to the people themselves. If they want to hear more about it, they can ask and we tell them some things. And of course, we have some information on our websites and that kind of stuff. So it's not really that we have an educational program, but we do have a lot of schools come out, but they want to have fun. They don't want to learn anything.
Well, and that's just it, exactly. And, of course, we were talking about the weather. So, obviously, weather conditions can significantly impact corn mazes like today. It's a winter wonderland out there, even though we're still in October currently. So, how do you handle unexpected weather challenges, and what measures do you take to ensure that the maze remains accessible and enjoyable for visitors?
Yeah, I've been a farmer for quite a while, so you're used to kind of the weather. Uh, it's always a challenge. Like now, we close down because of the snow.
Okay.
We if it rains, we put straw in the paths, for example, and try to dry it up a little bit and make it not so slippery. Uh, yeah, dry weather is always the best. You just get less attendance, but we try to build things so that we can also have a year accessible when the weather is not that great. Right now, snow, we shovel our snow on our barn entrance, but not in the maze itself. We've done that.
Okay. No, interesting. Yeah, I was going to actually ask you if you actually close down in the winter, if you are open year round.
No, we're only actually open with the corn maze from the end of July to the end of October. And then in the spring, we open up with our petting zoo and that kind of stuff in May and June. So and in the winter for the rest, we're closed.
Right. Do you do anything special for Halloween, like make it spooky or anything?
No, we
It's a
do it
really,
every.
it's a popular time right now to get out to the maze, for sure.
I leave it up to the people who work in there if they want to
Okay.
scare people, and they do that. It doesn't have to be Halloween for that. As long if it's dark, it works.
I was going to ask you, what are the hours too?
Yeah, so during the week we're open basically from 4 to 6 or 4 to 9,
Okay.
and on Fridays we're open till 10 o'clock, and on Saturdays also till 10 o'clock.
Oh, fun. Okay, no, excellent. That's an excellent time to scare people for sure, especially at this time of year.
Seems to work.
Now I know like community engagement is essential for attractions like yours. So, are there any community outreach initiatives or partnerships that you've established this season to involve the residents?
Yeah, well, every year we do actually a fundraiser on Thanksgiving Day.
Yes, I was
So
going to ask
we
you about that.
Yeah. So this year we had a Thanksgiving fundraiser for the Lethbridge Pregnancy Care Center. Every year we choose a different organization. So we all the admission of that day will go to that cause that we did, and we raised anywhere from 10, and this last year was almost $18,000. So we did really good this year. So
Fantastic. And I believe your Thanksgiving fundraiser, in addition to the Pregnancy Care Center, I think you had sponsored some children through World Vision as well, right?
that's correct. Yeah, like we started in the year 2000, and we didn't have any money, so we had to do monthly payments. So we decided to go
Oh,
with World Vision,
yeah.
and that we have basically done that ever since, and we do it still. So we have still 4 children for the last 24 years that we sponsored through the proceeds of the mermaids.
Fantastic. What are you planning? So, I mean, we are getting close to the end of your season, unfortunately. Do you think you're going to open up after this crazy snowfall? It's supposed to get nice again next
Yeah, well,
week.
we're even open tonight again. We only close for one day. I mean, it's caution, especially in driving conditions. We have some bookings that we expanded till next week, move them over because it's okay. It's supposed to be nice weather, and then after that we're done.
How far outside of Lethbridge are you? What's your address?
Well, we are close to Park Lake Provincial Park, so we are from the west side. It's about 20 kilometers to downtown. It's about 30 kilometers.
Like 10 minutes basically driving. It's not that far out of town at all. And how much is admission to get into the maze?
The regular admission is $13 for anybody 6 and up, and we have a family discount of $2 per person, and then children between 3 and 5 are $5.
Lovely. Okay. Do you have any plans for your next season? What kind of design you're going to come up with, or is that something you think about over the winter months?
Well, it's going to be our 25th anniversary, so next year. I'm planning to do one of my most favorite mazes, and I think it's going to be a spider web. It won't be identical to the one I had in 2004.
Okay, spiderweb sounds absolutely hard, not just to walk through, but also I can't even imagine designing something like that.
Yeah, well, I made it once, so I can do it again.
You can do it again. You can probably do it even harder this time. It'll just get bigger and better, right?
Yeah, well, it used to be 7 acres, now it's 10 acres.
Oh, there you go. It's fantastic. Okay, well, we're almost out of time here, but Theo, I got to ask, what are your thoughts on crop circles? And is it actually you driving around in your tractor creating them?
Well, I've invited some people to come, or some, no, no, what are they, people? Anyway, to come and to put some in the field beside me, but so far no luck. So, but I know how to make it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Theo, thanks so much for your time today. We really appreciate learning about how these crazy, incredible corn mazes are designed. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and it was a pleasure to share it with you.